All right. Eighth week of the season, or eighth vault. We're going into week 8. So we're going to open up a few different vaults today in this video. I have a couple monks, I have my warrior, and I have my paladin. Nothing really else, but I got a lot done, I felt like, last week, so let's just dive into it. We'll start with the paladin. So we are 1 week away from the 11.2.5 patch. It comes out, I believe, on the 7th of October. So give or take a week away. Well, obviously a week away. It's fucking Tuesday. So with that right around the corner, there is going to be kind of a lot going on in terms of WoW. The part 1 of the Turbo Boost comes out, which includes track upgrades, but nothing else. Dinars and everything else are going to, like, uncapped crest, transferable Valor Stones. That's all coming later. While the tracks are getting increased, you're not going to be able to degenerately farm, which I think is a fine thing. I made a video about it already. One other thing that is coming out, though, is Legion Remix comes out. So I think a lot of players are going to be spending their time doing that. So keep an eye out for that. But anyways, my prop paladin, I think I did 4 vaults, or 4 dungeons, I should say. So I'm going to have a pretty small vault, but we're just looking for direct mythic track upgrades. So here we got pants, which I believe are kind of okay since they have like a good bit of mastery and crit. Crit is a very powerful stat for prop paladin right now, and mastery you want a specific amount of. I might have to redo some of my stats on this piece, but I think this is what I'm going to end up taking since I don't believe I have mythic pants already. And the neck from here has haste and verse. Verse is like not the best stat for us. We can head over to something like Murloc.io. Once again, I use this site all the time. I like to look at stat weights here, especially as they progress through the season. If we scroll down, you can see that verse is generally an underrepresented stat. You need around 10,000 mastery for specific block values, and then your rest is going into like crit and haste. And this is mostly for damage, also parry chance, and haste allows you to have a good resource economy in terms of generation, like of holy power, and of course, of some abilities are affected by the haste and they're global. So probably going to lean towards the pants. This is a pretty easy decision, and yeah, we're going to be vibing. So one thing I want to talk about this week is I personally am at the point where I'm going to hit 720 item level, which means that I'm going to get crest discounts very soon. So I still have about 420 crests to farm on this character. But if I end up farming that, I'm going to be able to pretty much upgrade everything without really having to think about Gilded Crest anymore, because I'm no longer prevented from hitting the max item level because of the cap, which is big bonus. So not bad. Starting off strong with this vault. All right, so now we have our warrior. I've talked about this in pretty much the last 3 or 4 vault videos I've done, but I've been playing way more Fury than I've been playing Protection. Now, I did raid last week. I got 2 mythic kills. I believe I think I did Soul Hunters and Plexus, so I have 2 vault slots. And because I killed Soul Hunters, I have access to both the boots and the brand. One kind of point of discussion with my Mythic Plus group right now is we currently don't have a full group, at least a consistent full group, I should say. And we're really down bad for a hunter. We really want to fit a hunter into the comp. Our current warrior is willing to swap to hunter. That means then we don't have attack power buff. And we generally play more phys comps than anything, or at least attack power benefiting comps. So things like Frost Death Knights, Ret Paladins, etc. So I am working on gearing my protection warrior. While it's not my first choice in terms of tank to play right now, I'd rather play Brew. This is also probably going to be a good alternative this season. So I am going to open this up as prot. I have been opening it up as Fury the last couple weeks, but I'm kind of chasing those trinkets. I also did a couple of heroic bosses, and of course I filled my mythic vault, my mythic dungeon vault. So we'll see what we get. Fuck. That's like terrible. That's fine. I was hoping for something a little better instead of the Lumathar shield. The problem with my current shield is while it is crit mastery, with heavy mastery, it does have leech on it. I've also fully upgraded it, so I've spent those Valor Stones. And I'm kind of down bad on Valor Stones, I feel like. So I could take this. It's not even a crest save, though. It just, if anything, it'll be a loss. We also have a mythic chest, which I already have. This would be a little bit better in terms of stat weights, but I already have it. We could take shoulders. I don't believe I have shoulders, actually, on this character. At least mythic track shoulders, which we would take and then catalyze. Having mythic track shoulders is really good. And then, of course, last but not least, we have this waist, which I don't think I would take over what I currently have on. So I would say my stats are generally pretty good. If we look at like Protection Warrior, they do actually have like, it's not a terrible thing to have like a little bit of mastery, and I actually have less mastery than this, and I'll probably naturally get it as I upgrade more pieces in my kit. But having my current shield with mastery on it doesn't even put me above what I would want for mastery, or what is average for mastery. So I think I'm going to ignore the shield, and I'm going to actually end up taking these shoulders, which I can then catalyze. We did see a Ritual Forge, which would be kind of fun to mess with, and we also have, what the fuck? We have an Omega Ring with Leech on it. Unfortunately, mastery's just so terrible that I would never take this. Yeah, I have to pass on the Logic Gate off. That's so insane, actually. Oh well. Okay, we're going to just take shoulders then. Boom. I can't complain with that vault. Anything that's like at least a heroic to mythic track upgrade is good. Especially if it can be like something like if it can be catalyzed into a more optimal piece. Obviously we're after trinkets, but I also have to keep in mind that dinars come out in like give or take a month, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So worst comes to worst, I'm not gonna ever get brand for my vault, and I'm gonna end up just buying it later. So I kind of forgot I don't have any more charges. So this is a piece I'm going to have to hold on to, but the benefit of this is that I get to save some crests. So I'm currently sitting on 60. I did cap out last week, but the thing is I'm not going to spend these 60 until my main Brewmaster gets the discount. And then I'm going to be able to upgrade 6 pieces instead of 4. And then this week I can upgrade 9 instead of 6. So that's kind of my logic. So I'm going to have 6 plus 9. So I have like 15 upgrades this week, potentially. So this character is going to be able to shoot up quite a bit. Same with my Paladin, same with my other monks, like pretty much any character. We're going to then jump on to my alt Brewmaster. I've been getting this question a lot for some reason. I feel like I talk about it every week, but people are like, why do you play 2 Brewmasters? It's like, okay. So here's the logic behind why I have multiple Brewmaster monks. I like the class. And then you can make the argument, well, if you like the class just so much, just play your main. What I also like in this game is having goals, objectives, as well as gearing opportunities. So let's say I do 8 keys and I do full raid clear on my main monk. And now I have some friends who are like, hey, you want to come do like some 12s, or I'm like, hey, I'm playing my alt. Do you want to like come play? Yeah, I could go play my main, but then I don't feel like I'm accomplishing anything. I'm not filling a vault. I'm like just running 12s, which aren't IO for me, which I like to have that incentive, like this is IO or this is filling a vault. I like to have some objective, or hey, we're trying out this new strategy. But when I'm doing like alt keys, I want to play a class I enjoy, which is monk. It's my favorite class in the game, but I want to like have at least some type of benefit to it. So having 2 monks that's the main reason why I enjoy playing the class a lot. And it also, like, beyond that, it also lets me, like, maybe I'll get different loot on this character. For example, I'm dual wielding. This character got like Ritual Mud and Sephorium way before my main did. So I had like I had like slightly different things in my kit that was kind of fun to kind of problem solve earlier on. Like, oh, I have to work with these trinkets on this character, but I have this set of trinkets on this other character. That kind of stuff is just like fun to me, and that's why I have 2 monks. So I hope that answers it. If you still don't understand, I'm sorry. I have 2 monks. It's all good. So we're gonna be opening this up as, I believe, Brewmaster. I don't know how many. I think I only did 4 keys on this character. I didn't do a ton last week. And there's a tome. Okay. With Leech. What the? Dude, I'm so mad. What the fuck is this? Dude, I just had my bags open and I was staring at my tome and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna rip a fucking tome, aren't I? And I did. With Leech. Holy shit. Okay, this is my new main. This is my new main. That's fucking wild, actually. Holy shit. Damn. Let's go, dude. Oh my god, holy shit. I'm like shaking. Holy. Alright, well that's all the luck, the RNG from my vaults. My main is, well, now my other Brewmaster, my alt, is gonna get fucking jack shit. Holy shit. Okay. So same thing here. I have 90 crests still, and I'm gonna get another 90 more this week. But my main Brewmaster is 719 pretty much, and I think with just the crest I earned this week, I'm going to be able to upgrade gear to the point where I can have the discount, hopefully, on all my other characters, which I'll be able to then jack them all up to like 715 plus. So let's swap. I don't even know what to say. Like, okay. The only thing I want from the vault is going to be very specific items here, so I don't expect to have an upgrade. Best case scenario, mythic track pants or Mythic Track Gloves, which I do have Mythic Track Gloves, but I'll have to catalyze them. If I get them from the vault, they're gonna just be a higher item level. They should be like 714. That'll be good. Sephorian Pacemaker would be nice, but like everything else I have is like I'm pretty happy with. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna open this up as Windwalker. Reason for that is I already have a Mythic brand. I got this a week or two ago, and I want the only thing I want from the raid anymore is Fractilus's Unyielding Nether Prism. I don't think any other boss has any item that I would want. So yeah, we're just chasing this Unyielding Nether Prism, which would be really good for Windwalker. It'd be really good for Brewmaster, specifically when playing Shado-pan. So yeah, let's open this up and see what we can get. Oh, nice. Okay. Pretty sick. So I got Ritual Forge, Haste Mastery Neck, probably pretty bad. Crit Haste Weapon, definitely don't need. Also, I believe I already have on my alt, actually. Haste First Neck, definitely bad. And then, of course, Seamaker. So I cannot complain about this. This is like perfect. This is something I was leaning towards taking with Dinar, potentially, in the near future. This is a very strong trinket for Brewmaster. If we once again come back to Murloc.io, just kind of want to showcase or show that this trinket's not terribly unpopular. I noticed that there was a slight shift in Brewmaster players and what they were running. I definitely just scrolled past it, didn't I? A lot of people prefer Cursed Idol, which, for obvious reasons, it does like good damage and gives way more crit, and you use it just with your CDs. Sephorian Pacemaker, though, is pretty consistent, reliably consistent. And then, of course, Brand is just like super OP. So I've seen some people starting to run the All-Devouring Nucleus in some keys, but this is like a very bad cheat death. So yeah, I'm kind of tempted to take the Ritual Forge just for the memes, but this trinket is like terribly bad. It would have been really good last season playing Master of Harmony, but Master of Harmony is just like not the case anymore. And if I ever really want this in the future, I could just play it. Wait, actually, hold on, let me think. So if I take this, it saves me future crests, right? Which, again, also don't really matter because we're getting turbo boost. I could do some crazy shit with Master of Harmony, I feel like. And then when I inevitably get the Sephorian Pacemaker on Mythic from probably Dinars, I can then upgrade it instantly compared to having to wait. Yeah, and this also lines up, like, if I play non-Chi Surge keys, this would be very fun to mess. I think it would be stupid, right? Oh man, I kind of want to play with it. It would make Weapons of Order so beefy. The issue though is like, when you do use it, you ramp Weapons of Order while simultaneously losing stacks of agility. Oh man. The only reason I would take Ritual Forge too is I was talking about this last week with like some guildies. I've done the math. I believe if I just upgrade my boots and my Logic Gate Alpha to max, it would give me enough item level to hit 720. I'm at 718 right now, but I'm at like 718.94. So I need just about an item level. 4 item levels on my trinket, though, would also for sure solidify me in that kind of bracket. This is actually a lot harder decision than I thought. Hold on. So I have this little item level calculator. If I upgrade, yeah, so these are currently 714. These are currently 714. So this is what I'm currently at. 718.9375, which is 79.4. If I upgrade these 3 times to 723, then these 3 times 723, we'd be set. But if I also got this 714 trinket, I could upgrade gloves instead, which are main stat, which is probably more important than upgrading a ring. And I can bump these up to 717, right? What if it was like what if it was only 714 though? So even then, so it guarantees I get it. This is a dumb way to do it. Because ideally I upgrade gloves over ring. I do have Mythic Track gloves, so that should be fine. See, that's just the thing is like with the Ritual Forge at 710 is a little bit behind Pacemaker in single target. And in AoE, it's even worse. Dude, this is turmoil actually. Okay, here's, oh baby. Actually, wait a second. I mean, the Unyielding Nether Prism is obviously so much, well, not so much better. If I play Windwalker, Araz's Ritual Forge is also kind of insane, but I also have Lily on Mythic Track, so like I don't really care. Or no, do I? Yeah, I do. Okay. So like I wouldn't even use it as Windwalker. Why does this matter so much? Why is it so bad? It's such a good vault, but it's such a bad vault because it's like not items I wanted, but it's like, well, the Pacemaker is actually good. I literally even said like, I hope I get a Pacemaker, and now I have a Pacemaker, but I'm deciding between Ritual Forge. The only thing that I would do is I'd say I'd take this to save crests and to mess around with like Master of Harmony for like big Weapons of Order windows. This seems like the wrong choice, but it also like feels like the right choice. This is terrible. I don't know what to do. This is actually, I think, one of the hardest vault decisions I've had to make. And that's not even me being a jokester, you know? The thing is, the pacemaker's just consistent. And I know in my heart of hearts that it's better. It's just better for me to have this. I'm just gonna fucking do it. I'm not even gonna think about it. Not even going to think about it. I'm already regretting the decision to take this. No, I'm kidding. I don't regret it. So this with Master of Harmony specifically, and if you drop Chi Surge, you can actually pick up a better defensive talent. Like you could pick up Anvil and Stave for more Harmony procs. You can get actually Quick Sip. I guess Ox Stance for a couple dungeons, even though there's not that many tank busters and this is kind of irrelevant now. Basically, Ritual Forge, if you drop Chi Surge, you don't get CDR, so the trinket should always line up, giving you a massive influx of main stat. For example, I'm at 90,000 right now. This gives me almost 36k, so it's giving me like a 30% agility gain every 2 minutes. Probably pretty strong for Windwalker when you're running a 2-minute Zuen. If you're running minute 30, then, you know, Lily's also strong. Obviously, Nether Prism's going to be better, but crest saving is very good. Now I can upgrade trinkets like this for free. Soulbinder's Embrace, I can jack up without crests. Same with my Lily. I can push this up without spending crests. So I actually, that's, I think, a little bit better. We're kind of getting to that weird point in the season where it's like, we know just on the horizon everything is going to be reduced, or we have infinite crests at our disposal because it's going to be uncapped. So it's kind of weird to think about like crest saving, but I think for the next 2 weeks, I will be happier knowing that I'm now 719 versus not 719. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the week, I guess. We do get an extra craft. Now, craft's kind of weird this late in the season. We are going to be going on to our fifth craft, our fifth spark, full spark. If you do craft 5 pieces, chances are the pieces you're crafting now are kind of just like, you've probably been like unlucky. Maybe you don't like mythic raid and stuff and you've had some pretty bad vaults. Crafting 5 pieces isn't terrible now, but chances are you will have some kind of throwaway items eventually. In an ideal world, you want to try to minimize the amount of crafts you have on. Maybe you'll have your 2 embellish slots and then maybe 1 more, but you want to not really go above 3 because any other item that isn't crafted on Mythic Track is just going to be 3 animals higher than anything that's crafted with probably maybe more ideal stats. So yeah, basically all I'm trying to say is this craft doesn't mean as much this late in the season, but it is still an available craft. So great for alts, great for people who are like, have just been down bad on vaults or down bad on like getting the items they want. So yeah. One last little treat. I'm going to be opening up my 3rd vault on my Brewmaster, my other Brewmaster monk, my 3rd Brewmaster. This is mostly a fuck you to anyone who's sad that I have 3 monks. So this character, this is a project I've talked about on stream a little bit when I have streamed. I am currently working and finishing up a project where I try to take a class. I limited myself to basically 12 keybinds, and I'm using the 1-button rotation. My goal is to see how far I can push myself in terms of killing like either raid bosses or Mythic Plus. I've gotten pretty far with it, and I'm probably going to be wrapping it up this week. This is a monk I will probably not really play too much after this because the 1-button rotation literally puts me to sleep. But I wanted to see how bad the project is. I want to see how bad the 1-button rotation is, or how good it is, and I want to see if it's feasible for a player. And of course, there's a caveat to it, and you'll have to watch the video. But there is is it possible to basically play the 1-button rotation? Because I think it would be very good for new Brewmaster players to learn. I think it'll give you a good understanding of what the rotation kind of should look like. I also don't think it does terrible damage, and if you are someone who's like chasing 3 KIO, for example, or you want to get into like heroic raiding, it is totally possible to play with the 1-button rotation. While it's not optimal, of course, there is some nuance, but it's pretty good. So we're actually going to open this up as Brewmaster for obvious reasons. I'm a Brewmaster character. I'm 707 item level, so I'm actually pretty good. I have some decent gear on, but we're going to open this up and see what we can get. What is this vault, dude? What the fuck? We got Astral Antenna, which by the way is like an insanely good trinket. We got Harvester's Interdiction on Mythic Track, and we got the Starlit Breachers with crit verse. These are like our two best in slot here, and then this is a very solid like S minus or A plus trinkets. Not a terrible weapon, kind of bad neck, but holy shit, dude! And oh my god, this has been all of the bad weeks I've had. I've had pretty much 7 bad weeks in a row of vaults, and this is kind of made up for it. Not really, because obviously getting bad vaults sucks, but I think we know what the decision is, right? This is hero track. I probably don't need it. The breeches would be nice, but it's not needed. While they are crit verse and it's like quote unquote our best in slot, you can hit verse and crit caps without having these pants, where you can then opt into something else. I currently also have mythic track pants already that I can catalyze if I need to. Obviously, these pants are not great being in on the catalyst, but I think the weapon is just what I'm going to be taking, because from what I've seen from Wowhead posts in terms of the vendor and what you can buy with Dinar in the future, this weapon will not be on it. So if you see this weapon in your vault, it's very good. My only kind of take back, or my only reservation, is I'm dual wielding currently, and I dual wielded and I crafted weapons in both slots. So I'm going to be missing out on all of these sparks that I used here, which kind of sucks. And dual wielding has benefit when you're playing Press the Advantage, which is something I had to do with this character. So that is my only drawback right now, my only reservation. But I think we're gonna take it. Bang. That's wild to me. There's a world where I may not even end up using this weapon, so we'll see. I could probably upgrade it pretty immediately. It's gonna cost me a shitload of crest though. Yeah. Or Valor Stones, I should say. But this is why it pays to have multiple monks. You can fish for your gear. It's a bucket split style. All right, so yeah, get your craft, keep doing your stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.